about 1 o'clock in the morning. I got an answer to my prayer last night. I didn't really pray much. I just listened to some Nancy Wilson and then went to bed. My worst sin in my life is that, I have to be honest with it, I'm not trying to make up excuses. The sexual manipulation with my stepdaughter. She was being groomed by my ex-wife and her mom, and Natalie was hard to relate to except for her, and she didn't talk much, and it was more of sexual contact even when she was young, and so I tried to limit contact with her, so she got jealous of my relationship with the other girls because their relationship with me was different because Barbara wasn't around with the other two, and Amy didn't do the same with the other two that she did with Natalie. So the first time when she was about 7 in Wyoming, when we were trying to relate and my body reacted, I felt like a demon that day. I felt like it was the worst day of my life, and I felt like hell. And I felt like complete shit, and I didn't go around her again in any way to be affectionate or stuff. It was me and Natalie had a strained, difficult relationship. At about 11 years old, Amy sat there one time. I told you one night, now Natalie knows about the situation too. I don't know what Natalie, I'd love to talk to Natalie and find out what Amy was telling her. I can kind of figure out what Amy was telling her, but she told me, come in the bedroom right now and I'll show you that Natalie wants to replace me in the bedroom. She wants to start having sex with you as soon as I leave. I was like, what are you talking about? I went in there and Amy started taking her clothes off and saying, come on early, Ralphie, let's have sex. Come on, take your clothes off. And Natalie started leaning and putting her hips against my pelvis, and my body reacted, and I was embarrassed, and I wasn't going to take off my shorts, mostly because I was embarrassed because my body reacted. Amy and her were at the end of the bed. Natalie was in my boxer shorts and a t-shirt, and Amy was naked. And Amy, they were both kind of bent over and twisted and tilted up at me. And I was looking up there, and I was asking myself, what the hell's going on? At that time, I had figured out that they were filming things at the fort and at the police department in our apartment because the guy that used to live there was a sex offender. And it was under surveillance because it was signed off by the landlord. I didn't know what was going on, and I was asking God why this was going on and why the people at the police department and the fort were watching this, and nothing was going on. What the hell was happening? I kept asking. I talked to Natalie about it later, and I said I regretted it because I felt like I was more attracted to her to you than your mother. And then afterwards, I thought maybe I did the wrong thing. Maybe I should have told Natalie. And so you're going to have to get out of here. Because, well, I did. I told her, your mom wants to have sex, and I really get that. So you might want to leave. This is really weird. And I just sat there and thought it was weird. And then afterwards, Amy said, I told you. Told me what? She wants to have sex with you when I leave. And I was like, Amy, all I know is I got up, went to the bathroom, and said that was the weirdest thing that ever happened. And Natalie left the room. And that was the strangest thing that ever happened in my life. It was the most uncomfortable, weird night that ever happened to me in my life. No, I didn't tell my sisters about it. I told Patrick about it. But I didn't tell my sisters. I told my sisters about a bunch of the other stuff, about Amy making the sex tapes and a lot of the weird things that happened, stuff like that. My sisters, in return, told me I was a pervert, took my daughter to professionals here who tried to get Natalie to try to seduce me so I had sex with her so they could send me to jail. When my grandmother died, they sent me to the dump while they all went to her funeral. When I tried to help Grandma, and they all went in there and helped themselves to clean out her apartment, any stuff that they wanted. I don't know how to live with my family. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to do. I would never, if my family came in and told me this stuff was happening and I was honest with them, I wouldn't try to sit there and say, I think you're a complete liar, and go to the professionals and get them set up to go to prison to be raped. I don't know how to tell you I can live with these people. If the rich and famous people know who I was and know what's happening and stuff like that, I don't know how to tell you I can live with them. Maybe tonight when I brushed my teeth, I could taste and smell the raw sewage in my water, so they're still doing the Halliburton type testing shit with stuff with me. Maybe, with the damage to my testicles, and the abuse and all the toxins and stuff like that, maybe I'm not meant to last very long in this body. Maybe the poisoning and the abuse and everything has just gone too far. Maybe I'd die soon. You know, I don't know. I'm really tired and I'm beat up, and I go up and down, and it's really hard. Maybe my reward is an early death to get away from all of you because you're so fucking mean and cruel to me. Maybe I will be blessed with my body shutting down in a few years and just dying and getting away from you people because you're so fucking evil. Maybe I won't have to be aware of what you did to me, what I'm doing, and I'll come back as a kid to watch you guys all still continue to abuse one another and watch all the horrific things happen as the planet reacts, and a lot of you end up dying because of it, because you won't stop. Maybe this is my form of coexistence with you and my reward for trying to be a decent person, but I was not a decent person because I couldn't stop you and I couldn't help you and I couldn't help myself. Maybe that's the answer to my prayer. Maybe me and Jennifer Lopez weren't meant to be together physically in this life or a couple of lifetimes yet to come, because I would want her to stay near her children and not die with me when I die, because I'm not a hopeless romantic who thinks that the end-all be-all is a sexual relationship between me and her. Maybe me and her won't hook up physically till 1,000 years from now. That's when Mary and Jesus get back together, and that's when we bring about the kingdom. But for the next 1,000 years, we just tie down evil with a lot of truth, but we have to still struggle through a lot of trials and tribulations that you guys all still require and want. Maybe I'm just a magical thinker who thinks we can do it all today, and I'm just an immature little kid who's just crazy and wants magical thoughts and thinking to fix all this mess that we've created and not get through it the hard way, but get through it the easy way. Maybe I'm the childish one and you guys are all mature adults. I don't think you are. I think you're sick and mean. I wish you weren't so gosh damn fixed on entertaining everybody and being so fucking entertaining. I'm sorry for my reactions, my body, and being a human being. I'm sorry for feeling like an evil demon because of all the shit that happened to me. But I know I didn't do it. And when I was in Sierra Vista and I got all those people talking to me from Fort Huachuca and stuff like that, and I started hearing about the things they were capable of and the things they do, my life made sense. And I felt like a human being that was very abused and stuck in abuse and couldn't get out of abuse because I was being studied by a bunch of Hitler-type scientists that won't fucking stop doing what they're doing, and then a bunch of rich people that will sit and watch and do nothing about it because they're too afraid of being abused like me. I hope you stop soon. My life has been more horrible than I ever imagined. It was abusive and it was cruel and it was really mean, but it was worse than I ever gave it credit. I don't want an early end of it to go away because, then again, if you guys keep this up, I don't get to meet Emily. I don't get to watch and have grandchildren. I don't get to have time with the kids. I only get to watch them suffer and live in a world that you're going to create mass genocides and ecological disasters and wars and other bullshit to promote your plans of all your crazy bullshit to help rebalance the earth through sadistic, socio-psychopathic, manipulative kind of bullshit with entertainment all the way. That's what it feels like. It feels like this insane, sadistic, God, it just feels horrible. I wake up every day wondering how we can all be so sick and how I have to be a part of this and why I have to be a part of this and why this has to continue. I see the young people and I see so much beauty. I see so much hope in so many people's eyes. I see the little children and I think to myself, on these commercials where they have these people delivering FedEx boxes to little girls who are so cute and bubbling in their eyes because they got a gift, thinking to myself, this is all just means and mechanisms to make themselves all superficially happy for a day, which can lead to forms of mass violent reactions by the planet and mass genocidal eradications, and people don't care. But I guess I should just look at it like a bunch of mad, mean, evil animals that destroy their own environment, that think they're happy and they're not happy and they deserve what they get. But I'm not like that. I'm not like those fucking evil little fucking Hitler scientists that are studying me with Halliburton type shit in my water and how I react to things and taking notes on me like I'm some kind of IEP study lab rat in their lab. Heck, and I'm the one who's most like Jesus and they treat me like shit. So what makes you think they're going to treat you guys better? Oh, that's sick. I hate laughing. You can't prove that you're most like Jesus. I can prove I'm a lot like Lot. Lot's from the same line. Oh, never mind. I know you hate me. I'm sorry you do. I wish you loved me like I love you. But I can't stand what you do. I hate what you become. I can't lie to you and tell you lies. I have to tell you the truth. I'm disgusted by what's happening to me and what happened to me, what you guys are all still doing. You know, I'm glad you guys don't invite me to your Geneva conventions, your shows, your get-togethers, and your little fun things. I'm glad I'm stuck here with Zeke and the cats. I'm glad you don't like me and want me to show up. I'm glad I'm embarrassed by you and you embarrass me. I'm glad we don't get along and everything still sucks because that stuff, see, that water stinks. I can smell it. You can smell the raw sewage and you just turn the water on. But you guys all know this. You're aware of what Dick Cheney and the Halliburton people did to the soldiers, and I'm no different than the soldiers. But you don't care. You don't give a fuck about your soldiers. You don't give a fuck about Iraqis, Iranians, Afghanis, Mexicans, and you don't give a fuck about low-class sorry fucks like me. Huh? I'm just a pervert. I wonder how you guys would have held up under that. I wonder how Casper Smart would have held up under the organized conditions to do to me to do to him what they did to me. I wonder how he would have handled it. I wonder how all you would have handled it when they set these conditions up, because they knew you would make overdeveloped, honorable sense of decisions instead of doing the thing to make yourself famous and go after all the rich or the hot girls that you could screw at the club. Be the sugar daddy, work out, and I reject all that. I rejected all the narcissism, I rejected all the fame, I rejected all the wealth, I rejected all the looking down the noses at others. I hated it. I didn't want to, every time I found myself heading towards that narcissistic way of life, I rejected it and reacted to it angrily and violently. I hated it in myself. I didn't want to promote it in myself or others. I saw it as self-indulgent and egotistical and vile behavior. I want to be healthy. I want to look good. I want to look right. I want to have all the healthy mechanisms, you know. Oh, Jesus must have been hot. He walked everywhere. He had rock hard abs. He had lean abs and good abs and stuff because he walked everywhere. He didn't have TVs and video games. And he didn't have cars. He didn't have to breathe in carbon emissions and stuff like that. So I think he was leaner and he looked better. But he wasn't built like fucking Casper Smart, no. He wasn't spending all his time doing sit-ups, push-ups, and lifting rocks to look really good, so he looked like Gerard Butler on 300. Oh, hell no. Well, it was a different time, too. Now, Leonidas from 300 lived in a time when people brought big mass army tribes to other people to come and take their women and rape them and make their men eunuchs and stuff. So he was getting ready. So in that time, when I'd live in a world like that, hell yeah, I'd be in great, solid physical shape, and I would rip your nuts off and feed them to you if you came to my town to say that you were going to eunuch my men and rape my women. And I would do like Gerard Butler's character did. This is Sparta, bitch, and I would shove you into a pit to be impaled, to come and tell me that this was acceptable behavior, and you had to submit to it. We'd rather die than submit to your bullshit. This is Sparta, bitch. Do you understand me? I just want a lot of you to know that have judged me and treated me like shit and think I'm a fucking perverted idiot, that I don't like you and I don't want to hang out with you or keep fellowship with you. I don't think much of you, and you shouldn't think much of yourself, but you won't do that because you think you're special. Well, I especially helped watch as you set up the conditions for me to look good and you to look like shit. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you like being impaled in that pit as I kick you off into it and show you who the real king is. Please don't come into my house anymore and try to influence me to do the right thing with all these lying, buying, selling bitches that have set up these Hitler-like conditions to study me like a fucking rat and abuse my body, heart, mind, and soul. Alright? I wanted to give you better news, but I can't. Maybe I'll have better news in the morning. We'll see. You keep wanting me to be silent. Keep it up. I probably will be soon. If not, if I live through this, I hope every time I see all of you that wish me silent, that you sit there, and when you look at me, that your eyes never meet mine, that you're so ashamed to be in the same room with me, that you wish you could run and crawl in a hole and never come out. I hope you are so disgusted and ashamed of yourself that you never repeat it again for 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 3,000 years, 5,000 years, 10,000 years, however many thousand years we can get relief from this kind of despicable behavior. I hope we've learned from this so well that never will we repeat it again. I hope we don't have to sit here and abuse one another, create bombs and espionage equipment to create disgusting behaviors to save ourselves from our own disgusting behaviors. I hope we've done enough. I hope we find a better balance and a better way. I hope we find better faith, better love, and better living, don't you? All right, man, I'll see you. I'm going to go to bed. I don't give a damn if I make you uncomfortable and make you feel like shit. You guys didn't give a damn if you made me uncomfortable and feel like shit. You made my life a living fucking hell. Why should I care if you feel like shit when I point it out to you? All I care about is the end results and that you stop acting like shit so I don't have to make you feel like shit, okay? I love you. I really do. I don't think a lot of you get it, but hopefully a lot of you will. Blessings and peace. I'll see you in the morning.